Hi, I'm Seth Gosshorn.
And I'm Nick Amia.
And we're going to talk today about creatine protein. Alright, have you ever wanted to be bigger or stronger? Have you ever wanted to be able to perform better at your sport? Well, if you've asked those questions, then we got something for you to try. It's called creatine.
So what is creatine? Creatine is a metabolite that is produced naturally in your body. It's found mostly in red tissue, but is also present in parts of the brain and the heart. Normally you would acquire it eating meat, fish, and any other food that's high in protein, but if you don't eat those foods regularly, you can use supplements. Creatine is a combination of 3 amino acids, glycine, arginine, and methionine.
Alright, so what creatine does in your body is it functions to increase the availability of cellular ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. Basically, muscle contractions take place based on the presence of ATP, and whenever it uses it in a contraction, it decreases the level of ATP, which means that you're going to need to be able to replace the ATP, which is basically what the creatine does. It helps produce more.
Creatine claims to enhance energy and muscular force, maximizing contractions in muscles and allowing for less fatigue in the weight room and more gains.
Bodybuilders praise this supplement because they spend a lot of time training and it's a lot of fatigue on their body, so the creatine helps them to be able to work out longer and perform better while in the gym or weight room. So it leads to a better workout, which makes them be able to see more results.
So how creatine works? ADP stands for adenosine triphosphate, and when your body uses energy, it breaks off a phosphate, which makes the ATP ADP, which is going to become adenosine triphosphate. So creatine works by bonding a phosphate group back to adenosine diphosphate, making it a usable adenosine triphosphate once again.
We looked up some studies of the effectiveness and the safety of creatine, and we were able to find out that it is a very safe and effective drug. So one of the studies that was conducted by R.B. Kreider determined that creatine was a safe and effective supplement in short-term use. It's not something you're going to want to stay on. You're supposed to cycle it, which is a month on, a month off. It keeps it from making your body stop producing the creatine naturally, because if you keep taking it, then your body feels like it doesn't need to produce it. So whenever you cycle it and stop taking it, your body continues to produce it itself, and also you have the creatine whenever you're on the supplement. It has been proven to enhance athletic performance also in cardio, sprint, and weightlifting activities. So that's basically everything needed for athletics or just recreational lifting.
So the big positives of creatine is that it creates high glycogen levels to help increase muscular mass and strength. And sprint and cardio relies on adenosine triphosphate, so taking creatine will also enhance your sprinting and cardio performance. And creatine delays muscle and neuromuscular fatigue, allowing harder work for a longer amount of time.
So this is also a supplement that you could take if you're trying to lose weight also, because it helps with your endurance, which means you could run for longer distances, longer times, which would help you lose the weight. A few of the negatives that we found about creatine is while you're using it, you must stay well hydrated, which is very hard to do whenever you're an athlete, because you're already doing a very physical task, and now you can do them for a longer amount of time, and a lot of times it just slips your mind not thinking about it. So you're supposed to stay very well hydrated while taking creatine to avoid liver damage. Creatine holds water in your muscles, which makes you look bigger, but as soon as you're done taking it, you start to lose a little bit of that water weight, especially if you aren't well hydrated. But once again, if you're staying well hydrated, that's not really an issue.
So there are 5 types of creatine, 5 main types. First one being monohydrate, which hydrate meaning water. You're going to need to take water with that one to make it mostly effective. Ethyl ester is researched off of monohydrate. It requires less amount of substance to be taken in to have the same effect as more of monohydrate. Tricreatine malate uses malic acid to digest easily in the stomach. And micronized creatine is simply a finer powder to improve absorption, and liquid creatine can be drank.
Alright, we have a couple myth versus facts. The first myth is that creatine harms your liver and kidneys. That's not necessarily true, because as long as you stay well hydrated, that's not really an issue. That's all a matter of being able to maintain a good amount of hydration while working and performing for longer amounts of time.
In one study, which tracked healthy athletes over a 5-year period, football players who used creatine at levels up to 15.75 grams per day showed no effects on markers of renal or kidney stress. In another study conducted by Dr. Carrie Kuhl at Oregon Health Sciences University in Portland and presented at the 2000 annual meeting of the American College of Sports Medicine, the kidney function of 36 healthy male and female athletes who consumed 10 grams of creatine per day was examined. And after 12 weeks, Dr. Kuhl found that creatine did not adversely affect kidney function.
And this is something that I've learned from some of our other research, is that 10 to 15 grams is quite a bit of creatine to take in. You really only need like 5 to 10 grams is what mostly I've read. So this is an extreme amount, and they weren't seeing any adverse effects. So that's just another reason why creatine is a safe product. And they're taking it every day. Most people only take it after a workout. So those are extreme situations, and it still wasn't any ill-advised harm to their bodies. The next myth is that creatine is 100% safe. That's not completely true, because creatine is non-toxic and you can use it, but it's not completely risk-free. There are some risks. I wouldn't take it with a bunch of other supplements. You kind of got to watch what you mix it with, just like anything else. It could have it could cause different things to react on in your body. So just kind of refer to your doctor and make sure that whatever supplements you're mixing and that is okay, and it's not going to do anything to your kidneys or anything.
So we picked a few athletes that use creatine. Right now, right up on the board is Leron Landry. He's an NFL safety, 2012 Pro Bowl selection.
He's actually holding creatine there.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, but he's pretty darn huge. Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympian, kind of famous guy. He's pretty large also.
Very large.
And Jay Cutler, he was also a former Mr. Olympia. They've all been known to use creatine, so I'm sure they're on a bunch of other stuff, but the creatine didn't hurt them.
Well, yeah.
So in conclusion, we found creatine scientifically proven to aid in ATP usage, allowing stronger muscular contractions. Creatine is a very beneficial supplement for those who exercise regularly or want to increase cardio performance.
Thank you for your time.